Well, hey gang, how are you doing? Jonathan here for Tailhunter Sportfishing, and it's time once again for the Mexican Minute La Paz video fishing report, covering all of the fishing action for our Tailhunter Sportfishing fleet in La Paz, Baja, Mexico. And these are going to cover all of the dates of the 21st of November, 2024 through the 4th of December, 2024. Here we are, December already. But anyway, hope you're doing well. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for spending time with us. Hope you had a fantastic holiday Thanksgiving weekend. Hope it was safe and peaceful and a good start to the holiday season. But let's talk about what's been going on. Once again, I did not do a regular weekly report, and here's the reason why. Well, I'm just kind of waiting for stuff to happen. You know, as I've said so many times, from about middle of October, end of October to April is our off season. And the reason for that, it's rough and windy for the most part. That's why all of the kiteboarders and windsurfers come down from all over the world to our area, because we've got world-class winds. And as we get deeper and deeper into the winter, the winds are going to get stronger and stronger. I'll tell you what, just to give you an example, over the last 3 weeks, we've gone from 20 to 40 fishermen a day to, well, I had 2 fishermen last week and that was it. So I'm kind of always waiting for someone to book or for someone to tell me they want to go out, or even more so for a window in the weather where we can put people out. I get reservation requests pretty much every day, and I really like to be honest with everyone. I like to be transparent about the expectations, because you know, you want to go out there and you want to have a good time. You don't want to get soaking wet. You don't want to get bounced around. You want to be able to get some live bait, catch some fish, have a good time. And especially right now, a lot of folks are coming down with youngsters or kids or folks who, you know, they're just generally not hardcore fishermen. They want to go out for one day, they're down for a week, they're down for 10 days, they're snowbirds, they just want to put their toes in the sand and have a good time, and they're not hardcore fishermen. So I want to make sure, if you're only going out one day, I want to make sure you have a good time or the best time possible. So I'm always looking for that window of opportunity when the winds aren't blowing and they can have a good time. Well, you know, in the last 3 weeks, like I said, I've had 2 people fishing. I've had to cancel 3 other fishing trips for folks who thought they might want to go out. We've canceled some diving. We've canceled some snorkeling. It's just not good to go out. Right now, looking at the extended forecast, as a matter of fact, for the coming week, at least for the next 10 days, I'm seeing spikes of northern winds up to about 16 to 18 knots. And these northern winds are what really knock us around, because you can't even get out of the bay. You're going to go straight north out of La Paz toward Espiritu Santo Island, and you're going right into the teeth, right into the face of these winds. So if you're even lucky enough to get out, it might be calm inside of the bay, but once you get out there, it's victory at sea. It's a whitewater washing machine at times, and you're just going to get bounced around, thrown around. You're not going to have a good time. You're going to come back and you're going to blame me or the captain or the weather gods or the fishing gods or something like that. We certainly don't want that to happen. Even if you fish with my Las Arenas fleet, if the winds are blowing, you're not going to be able to get across to the channel to Espiritu Santo Island. It's going to be very difficult to get bait. So, like I said, just looking for those windows where the winds aren't blowing. But as of right now, for the next 10 days, I'm seeing spikes of wind every single day for at least the next 10 days. So I try to be real transparent. I try to be upfront, because whether you book with me, whether you book with someone else, I at least like to mention that there's going to be some weather issues. I know there's some folks in town who don't say anything about the weather. And whether you book with me or someone else, once you get in the boat, once we set it all up, once anyone sets it up, there's generally pretty hard to get a refund. So I just like to be upfront on what's going on. The folks I did have going out, and also talking to some other friends who live in town and can pick and choose the times they go out fishing, or can get out for a few hours before the winds start up, and also to our friends who are commercial fishermen, they've told me there's still some Dorado out there. Not a lot, but it's surprising to even see some Dorado this late in the season, but there are some patches of warm water here and there. Mostly the water temperatures on the surface are running about 75, 78 degrees, but they're cooling off. So there's some nice patches of blue water. They're still holding some Dorado. I've had a couple marlin hookups, I hear. There's still a couple tuna. The commercial guys are saying there's some tuna popping up here and there. But generally, the waters are getting colder, and they're going to continue to get colder as the winds become more steady and become more prevalent. And the water's going to get dirtier and cloudier and stuff. So we're seeing, like I said, some Dorado, a couple marlin hookups. I heard a wahoo was hooked and lost by one of the commercial guys. I hear there's a couple tuna popping up, but mostly it's inshore fishing. Snapper, pargo, cabria. There's a couple small rooster fish that were hooked by shore fishermen. right in near the beach. Some small fun stuff. So I guess there's still some small roosterfish around. There's Sierra, there's amberjack. I understand at the north end of Soralvo Island, there's some yellowtail if you can get across the channel and when the winds aren't blowing. So that's kind of what's been going on. It's a very, very nice time to be in town, even if you're not fishing. Temperatures right now, sunny, 82, 83 degrees in the daytime, but a big thermometer change because at night it's down into the high 50s, low 60s. So even if you go out in the daytime, for the nighttime, if you're coming into town, I would suggest very highly that you bring a sweatshirt or light Pendleton or a windbreak or something like that, just to keep the chill off you. Or if you go out in the mornings, whether you're going out kayaking or something along the beaches, bring something you can always take off. Like I say all the time, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Anyway, that's a quick wrap up on what's going on. Hopefully I'll have something to tell you in a week or two if something happens. But in the meantime, like I said, the winds are blowing, and I hope you're having a great start to the holidays and had a great Thanksgiving. God bless you all. Take care of each other. I'm Jonathan for the Mexican Minute. We'll catch you next time around.